Welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody's doing well, and in today's video we are taking a look at some two-way drivers from Vessel Tools. I purchased all of these from Supreme Hand Tools in the UK. This is the two-way adapter bit, which was £15. This is the Speed L handle, which is £22 for that, and the T-handle driver there is £24. The adapter piece here comes on its own, whereas our speed handle and our T-driver, they came with a number 2 Phillips that you can use in the end here. Two-way section that we are referring to in the title of these is this collar here that you can see on the adapter bit. At the moment we are set up to take a 1/4 inch socket, so any 1/4 inch drive component will go on there, and then you put that in your screwdriver handle or power drill or whatever you want to do, and you've got a nut spinner there. Take that off and I push this forward, all the way forward there. Then what you see, you'll see the square drive in there. There are some little notches, and this will now take a standard 1/4 hex drive bit there, and then you can use it as a screwdriver bit. So that's a standard bit that it takes. It will also take these bits for impact wrenches as well. It does wobble a little bit with that, but it does go in there, does drive okay. What it doesn't like is these double-ended bits here that you can put in, and then you can see the play that you've got in there. That and there actually spins all the way around completely. So you can't use it with double-ended bits, but you can use it with any other standard 1/4 hex drive bit going. For the other end where this goes, whilst you do see it's kind of got this style for an impact driver, it will not actually go into a standard UK impact driver. It will go in and it will sit in there, and you can actually use it, spin it. However, it doesn't lock. No locking at all on that. I think what this is actually made for is the Vessel electric ball grip driver. I don't have one of those. I do have the standard ball grip driver, and that's what I've purchased this for, because it slides in there all nice. Again, it's not locked in place, but it's fairly good friction fit due to this handle, and that's what I intend to use it for, so I can flip between the hex bits there or turn it into a nut spinner, whichever I want to do there, and that will go into one of my little loadouts. I guess the little collar bit here is taking the place of what you would normally have as an adapter bit. If I put that on there, standard Cortex drive that you get with a normal 1/4 inch set, and then you can put your bits in there, can't you, whichever ones you prefer. This doesn't take double-ended bits either, so there's no difference in that respect, but that's what it's there to replace. But that's the bit handle bit there, and we can then move on to the speed handle, the L handle here. That's getting the speed bit from the collar here that does spin, so you can use it for as long as the nuts are loose, or the bolt is fairly loose on the thread, so you can spin stuff in and out quite quickly. Same operation with this one. The mechanism to grip the bit is still a little ball detent. It's just held in via this wire on this, whereas it's this visible clip on the other two items. Not sure why there is the difference there, but again, we can pull this back, and on this one it is slightly different because we do have the wobble style of 1/4 inch drive on there. So if I only half put this on, you can see we've then got a bit of wobble and a bit of movement and play in the socket to get you at a bit of a different angle if you've got if you're struggling to get into something. And what you can also do is if you push back on this just a little bit further, it then does lock and become a standard 1/4 drive on there. And then we can take it off at the end there, and we've got the same standard 1/4 drive if we need some bit more torque, and then comparison to a standard or my Teng 1/4 inch drive ratchet. Quite a bit more leverage you'd get with that, but obviously not as narrow a profile as that is once you put a socket on there. So it just depends on room you've got access into whatever you're trying to work on, really. And then finally we have the T-driver handle here. We're back to the same operation as the bit handle here. We've got this collar with the ball detenting that holds onto the bits. And again, any of the bits will fit. These bits for the impact will still go in there. Wobble a bit more when you do that, but it will work. And we can pull back on the collar, and we get to the standard Quartex drive again. This is standard quarter drive there, not the wobble that you get on the speed handle. And you can put your socket on there, and then you've got a nut spinner there. What you can then do with this is you have this red collar here, you put it forward, and you can turn this through 90. This will push back into the handle and lock it, and then you've got a bit of a T-handle, so you've got some more torque if you need to finally do something up, or something's a bit stuck and you need a bit more force to undo it. And then you can revert this back to a normal screwdriver handle. You do get a little bit when you're spinning this in your fingers, you kind of feel this here. It's all smooth, you don't get your finger stuck in there or anything. Well, I haven't managed to yet, but yeah, just slightly noticeable that it is there. And the handle on this is completely smooth black plastic. There's no rubberized grip or anything. But yeah, it's just an alternative to use against your speed handle, depending on, as I said, what your axes are and what your needs are and what you like to use, I guess. But that's those 3 items there. That's our bit adapter, our speed handle, and our T-handle driver with the 2-way attachments on them, all from Vessel Tools. That will be it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you found it useful, and I will see you again in the next one.